I was just sent, well, actually not even sent, but actually came across this very disturbing video. And let me tell you right now, I'm gonna try to remain as calm as possible because it's actually rather early with me recording this video. Otherwise, I would have raged out. So y'all are just gonna have to take my tone as very, I guess you can say, serious, because this is a very serious discussion that needs to be had. So in this picture, you see a woman by the name of Karen Harrison, and she's 26 years old. Now, to the right of her, you see her in the red. That's her in the red, and she's standing in front of another woman, and they're in the parking lot of a beauty supply store, and she's holding a infant in her arms. That is her 3-month-old child, or should I say that was her 3-month-old child? Because I would say the unthinkable happened, but at this point, I think it's becoming all too common. So she and the other woman get into a fight. I'm not going to show the video. I thought about doing it, but I said, no, it's too much. Her and the other woman get into a fight right there in the parking lot. And what she did was she was worried more about fighting this other woman, that she dropped her 3-month-old child out of her arms and proceeded to fight this woman. Now, mind you, they are standing on concrete. A fall like that to a 3-month-old child is like falling out of a high-rise building. There's no controlling of which way the baby fell. I don't know if the baby fell on its back or on its face. But they proceeded to fight. Then you had another guy come up. I don't know if he was trying to break it up or if he was engaging in the fight himself. Then we saw this woman who I'm guessing maybe worked at the beauty supply store, came out and was the only one that cared and picked the baby up. And it was another guy that came in, and I think he was trying to break up the fight because I think he worked in the beauty supply store. And then the video cuts off. So what happened was they ended up arresting the woman, the mother. They probably arrested the other woman too, but they definitely arrested the mother. And they took the child to a nearby hospital. And unfortunately, because of her negligence and her just not being a good mother, the baby ended up dying the next day from its injuries. And it doesn't surprise me that the baby died because it was only 3 months. It's not like she dropped the toddler, but the fact of the matter is, why were you fighting and you knew you had a 3-month-old child in your arms? This reminds me of the story that we just recently talked about the woman who, around the same age as this woman, went and decided that she was going to go engage and get into a fight with another woman at her job while she was 5 months pregnant. And she ended up getting charged, but they ended up dropping the charges. And you had people questioning why she was even charged. I want to see if people are going to ask the same question about this one. The only difference between her and the other woman is the fact that her child was alive. Her child was out of the womb. Her child was actually breathing outside of this woman's wicked womb. Yes, I called her womb wicked. After seeing that video, I think it's probably best that this child is more at peace than in the care of this woman, because she showed her whole unnatural ass that day when she decided to drop her child to fight with this woman. There was a time that if a woman was engaged in some kind of activity like this and they had the children around, they would make sure that the child was with somebody else where they could not see it. Nowadays, they get into fights while holding the child, or they'll just drop the child completely. I'll never forget a couple years ago, I came across a video where this woman got into a fight with another woman on a bus, and she had her toddler. And you can go look it up because the video is still online. And she got into it with this woman that she must have completely forgot she had a child in her hand, that she literally tossed the child to the side. And it took people that was around her to make her realize that, yo, you just threw your child into the seat all aggressively to go fight with this woman. And she did it aggressively. If the child fell the wrong way, by the way she tossed her, the child could have got a concussion. That's how hard she tossed that child. And I hate to say it, but yes, that was another black woman that did that. But you want to know what makes this story even more sick? This one right here that I'm talking about. This chick had the divine nerve To sit up there and lie to the authorities and say that the child was that was dropped was by another family member, by somebody else that was not her. That's what she said. She said that the police allege Harrison told officers the child fell out of a family friend's arm. An account the friend allegedly backed up, but when they looked at the surveillance footage, it turns out that the friend and her were both lying and that it was indeed her. So that's another charge she just tacked onto herself. Let me see. Speaking of charges, what is she? It says she was I see it right here. It says the friend was charged with obstruction of justice and making false reports to the police. And let me see if I can scroll up and see what she was charged with. Charges of include felony child cruelty, simple battery, and it says afraid charges. If it were up to me, I would sentence her to a punishment so severe, and it would be this: a lifetime of not being able to bear children. I know it may sound harsh, but it is what it is. Any woman that will fight with somebody else, I don't care who it is, and put their child in danger, that's the punishment I believe they deserve. There's no coming back from that. Your child did not deserve to die like that. I'm sure that child was healthy, had no conditions, no illnesses, no sickness. The only illness and sickness that it had to deal with was you as a quote unquote mother. Now we want to talk about bad elements, bad seeds in our community. Here's Exhibit A. Damn near through Z, and everywhere in between. This woman absolutely disgusts me. Now, another thing I don't want to hear, because I know it might be coming in the comments, because I know it came in the comments with the other video. I don't want to see anybody in the comments talking about where was the father, where was the dad. No, you're not going to do that in this video. Some of you were slick with the last one, because when you do that, you're trying to take away the blame from this woman and what she did. If you want to place blame anywhere else but besides the mother, you can put the blame also on the woman that she was fighting. The woman who was fighting her could have said, you know what, I'm going to deal with you, but I'm going to wait till you don't have your child around. And she still went and proceeded to fight her anyway. But when I was looking at the video, I think the mother threw the first punch. I could be wrong, but either way, they both got into it, and the child is now dead. And that's the sad reality of the entire situation, is that a child lost their life because its mother wanted to be a strag. I feel absolutely nothing for this woman. I don't feel anything for the friend that co-signed for her or tried to cover for her either. The only person that I feel bad for is that child. Didn't have a chance at all at life. Only on this earth for 3 months. But because whatever issue she had with this other woman was so important that she could not put her child in another element of safety. She'd rather fight someone than worry about the safety of her child. Like, I only watched that video once. That's all I needed to see. It disgusts me, like, to no end. And now the child is deceased. I hope she's happy. Well, you know what? I hope she's not happy. I hope this literally is eating away at her. And hopefully she realizes the error in her ways and what she has done. She has no one else to blame but herself. She could have avoided that situation. But if she still wanted to get into it with that chick, she could have made sure her child was safe first. but she didn't. That is solely on her. So whatever punishment she gets, I guess I'll just be fine with it. And that will be that. Y'all let me know what you think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. I'll talk to you in the next one.